Hello and welcome to HW News English. I am Shubham Chauhan. We are coming to you live with this important update in the RG Kaur case in West Bengal in Kolkata, where talks between protesting junior doctors and Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee have reached a deadlock once again. Now, it was a day of dramatic developments. To begin with, the protesting doctors ended up reaching the chief minister's official residence in Kolkata for a meeting. And once the protesting doctors, rather, reached about 30 of them, the chief minister, in fact, was waiting for these protesting doctors to come in so that the meeting could start. But the protesting doctors had, among the other demands, the big demand that became sort of the bone of contention was the doctors wanted a live streaming of this meeting, which, of course, the chief minister and other officials in the West Bengal government refused. And there are visuals of the chief minister waiting outside her residence so that the meeting could begin. And we'll play those visuals up for you. There you can see Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee's standing at the door waiting for the protesting doctors to come in. But because the protesting doctors were firm on their demand that they wouldn't enter the meeting unless the live streaming demand was met, the meeting couldn't take place. This was today evening, where this stalemate continued for a couple of hours actually, before the protesting doctors and officials from the West Bengal government decided to disperse because things weren't just moving. In fact, there came a point where the chief minister herself had to come out and speak to the protesting doctors. There you see the visual on the screen where there are the protesting doctors, and West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee is at the gate of her official residence in Kolkata. Let's just listen into what the Chief Minister is had to say to the protesting doctors. So there were the protesting doctors. The chief minister was effectively telling them to come in so that the deadlock can end, a meeting can begin. I'm just quoting from what Mamata Banerjee had told. I'm requesting, please come and talk as you had requested for today's meeting. At least come and have tea with me. Why are you disrespecting me? I keep waiting, as the visuals just showed, but it seems you don't want to meet. That's the protesting doctors. Forget politics for now. I will sign the minutes of the meeting, but there will be no live streaming. It can only happen after the permission of the Supreme Court. Now, this, like I said, was the demand of the doctors that the meeting be live streamed, wasn't met by the West Bengal government. Eventually, this 2 hour stalemate really ended with the doctors returning. Like I said, there are about 30 protesting doctors who reached the chief minister's residence. Now, just to bring you up to speed as to what has really happened, it was on the 9th of August that the body of a 31-year-old trainee doctor at the RG Kaur Medical College in Kolkata was found. She was raped and murdered in the RG Kaur hospital. And since that case came to light, protests took place across the country, and with doctors on the streets demanding justice, because it became sort of a tipping point that it is not just about the RG Kaur victim, it's about women's safety at large. Protests, I beg your pardon, continued across the country. A set of junior doctors in Kolkata earlier this week, they started a sit-in at the Swasthya Bhavan, which is the West Bengal government's health department headquarters. They staged a sit-in outside that. And since then, since for the last 5 days now, there have been a constant back and forth communication between what the protesters want and what the government has to offer. So the protesters had 5 demands that they categorically listed down and sent it to the West Bengal government. Among them, of course, was the strictest of punishment for the accused in the case. Then also they have sought strict action against Vineet Goyal, who's the police commissioner of Kolkata, and Health Secretary Narayan Nigam. The junior doctors have also called for improved security of healthcare workers and the eradication of threat culture. And as part of the meeting with the West Bengal government, the doctors were very clear that this had to be live streamed. Now, why the insistence on live stream? The doctors say that they want full transparency when it comes to consultation with the government. And some of the doctors, the junior doctors, were even quoted saying that if a hearing in the Supreme Court can be live streamed and be, out for public view, why not a meeting with the chief minister? And in terms of the delegation, the West Bengal government said not more than 15 doctors, about 10 to 15 doctors will be allowed. The doctor said, no, we want a delegation of about 30 doctors. And after exchanging a couple of letters and emails, screenshots of which were also made their way to social media a couple of days back, the doctors reached the office. Now it is the chief minister's official. It's the chief minister's office in Kolkata. Again, another similar scenario played out. The government was very clear from the beginning that live streaming will not happen. Although they said, West Bengal government said that the meeting will be recorded. That's what they said a couple of days back when the protesting doctors reached the chief minister's office. The official said that the meeting between the protesters and the chief minister will be recorded but cannot be live streamed. And once the doctors reached there, stalemate over this live stream issue continued. And later, visuals surfaced of the chief minister waiting for the doctors to show up in the office. There you can see on your screen 30 representatives is what the government allowed. Eventually, this is from a couple of days back, but the doctors were firm on their demand, and they stayed put outside the office, did not come in. And there you can see Mamata Banerjee, the chief minister, waiting for the protesting doctors to come in. But again, that too ended in a stalemate. Now, what happened this morning, or this entire day today, day of dramatic developments in this case, is that the chief minister showed up at the protest site. There was a surprise, sort of a visit by the chief minister, and where she appealed, in fact, to the protesting doctors to come to the negotiating table to talk. And again, I'll just quote what she said. She said, please listen to me for 5 minutes and then shout slogans. It is your democratic right to do so. I'm not here as the chief minister. I'm here as Didi. Didi is as she's fondly called in the state of West Bengal. She said, I will study the demands. I don't run the government alone. I will speak to the chief secretary. Action will be taken against those who are found guilty. I request you, I need some time to consider your demands. If you trust me, come and talk to me. I will look into your demands. And those are the visuals that were circulating on social media once the chief minister reached the protesting site. And it was after this, in fact, some of the doctors expressed, they expressed confidence that they were glad to see the chief minister make her way to the protest site, and said that they will have a meeting. So a group of, in fact, 30 doctors, like I said, the government eventually relented to that demand, and 30 doctors showed up at the chief minister's residence in the evening at around 7 p.m., anywhere between 6 to 7 p.m. And amid rains, a lot of commotion, things still ended up being stuck there, and that was the demand for a live stream. Now, what some reports are also suggesting is that once the chief minister stepped out, pleaded the doctors to, in fact, just come in and have a cup of tea, and but the doctors weren't quite keen. They just wanted the meeting to be live streamed, and it ended at that. Now, some reports suggest that after the officials left, after this sort of deadlock remained, the protesting doctors have been now quoted saying that they had agreed to all demands of the government, including eschewing live recording and video recordings, but then they were told it is too late. Now, this is where things stand as far as the deadlock between Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee and the protesting doctors. Now, what happens next is something that remains to be seen. But the visuals that one really saw or has been seeing in the last few days is really unprecedented to see a chief minister There you can see again she was waiting for the protesting doctors to come in. You had the the West Bengal DGP in at the chief minister's residence, the chief secretary, and some of the top bureaucrats of the West Bengal government there, so that the talks could take place. But she ended up, or rather, the talks did not. They remained inconclusive. The meeting is yet to happen between the doctors and the chief minister of West Bengal, Mamata Banerjee. Meanwhile, just minutes after this deadlock, another news trickled in that the CBI has arrested the ex-principal of the RG Kaur College, Dr. Sandip Ghosh, and another police official has been arrested by the Central Bureau of Investigation for allegedly misleading investigators and trying to hide evidence. Now, what some reports suggest that with their actions, the former principal, that is Sandip Ghosh, and the police officer allegedly tried to sabotage the investigation, mislead the investigators into the rape and murder case, which sparked outrage across the nation. So that's where things stand at the moment in this late night development that was expected to really take that the deadlock, so that the deadlock ends and things move forward as far as the demands of the protesters is concerned. But as of now, the deadlock remains. Doctors say that we were ready to given to all the demands of the government, but they were told that it is too late. The chief minister had been pleading. Remember, there's a lot of political and otherwise there's a lot of pressure on Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee's perhaps the steepest challenge for her since she became chief minister in 2011, as to how she goes about handling these protests, even when she was at the protest site and even outside her residence today. She kept telling the doctors that all their demands will be met. All she needs is some time. The recording, the live streaming, I beg your pardon, the live streaming cannot happen. She said we'll have the minutes of the meeting written and shared. I will sign it. That's the chief minister said she will sign it, and once the Supreme Court permission is in, the live streaming can or the recording rather can also be made public. So all of this has now ended in inconclusive talks at the moment. Now, where do things go from here? Will the doctors relent? Will they agree for another meeting with the chief minister without the live streaming clause, and say and just sort of um, make up with whatever they have in terms of at least recording the meeting, something that even the West Bengal government said that they're willing to record the meeting. And as far as the meeting today at the chief minister's residence, the chief secretary was reportedly clear that it's the residence of the chief minister, and live streaming cannot happen here. So it remains to be seen where things go from here. Like we here at HW News English have been following this story closely, trying to bring you all the recent and the latest developments in this case. And that's how things stand at this point. So thanks so much for tuning in, and subscribe to HW News English for more such videos, developments, and interviews. We'll try and line up voices from the ground to sort of give you a sense as to what really is happening in Kolkata and in West Bengal. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is Shubham Chauhan signing off.